Hey guys, welcome back to Werner Farms. So part of this video is going to be an update on the building. So the building, we're slowly making progress with it. Hopefully next week we will have the walls done and we will be working on getting the floor all set to grade and getting the in-floor heat in and putting the drains in that go in the garage and getting all the plumbing and everything done. And we are running electric from, you can't really see it because my truck's in the way, but the panel over there for the pit and the leg, the west leg, right there, as you can see, kind of right there, we are going to tap into the electric there and run electric all the way across. I think we are putting the electric around on the west side there, on the west north side, for the in the back by the garage there. And then you can kind of see it if you look towards the south bin there where the door is there. You can kind of see where the natural gas is. We are tapping into that, running natural gas all the way in for here. The only thing actually is that's on natural gas here is actually the house, which there is a possibility we might convert that. You can kind of see where that black tub is over there. That's actually where the propane tank is buried. So that's on propane. The dryer's been on natural gas. We're going to put this. We're actually going to, I believe, run a line from there, or from the gas, or from the natural gas spot over there that runs over to the dryer, and we're going to run over here also over to the shop, because at some point, at least our future plan someday would be to actually convert this whole entire shed into a shop. So the nice thing would be is to actually make this an 18-foot ceiling instead of I believe this is a 13-foot ceiling. That'd be really nice to have in here. That way, actually in the other shed, you can swing out the auger. I think I talked about that in the farm tour. You can swing the auger out and leave the grain tank unfolded. Whereas in here, you can barely clear the light bulbs that we have in here. We just have light bulbs mounted in the rafters here. So, but anyways, back to the building, you can see that the footer is poured and we have the rebar all set up ready for the walls to be poured. Hopefully Monday. We were working with a local guy, and hopefully Monday we will be doing that. And it won't be next week when we'll be building, because it'll take some time to get everything situated for the floor before we can actually pour the floor. And once the floor is essentially poured, that will mean everything we have for the underneath the floor, such as the in-floor heat, the plumbing, and the electrical, and also the drains for the garage, will be done. And farm builders, we can set that up probably towards the end of next week. We'll be getting that set up and scheduled. Actually, they're working on a local building for a neighbor actually right now. I think that'll probably be the same crew that does ours. So, but anyways, this is a new purchase on the farm. Not the excavator, we've had that. Not the backhoe, we're borrowing that from a family friend. Not the 730, the 730 is ours. Actually, my grandpa's. Not his original 730. Actually, another Werner has his original 730 diesel and his original 4020, which both of those I would like to have someday. This is actually not the original one, but someday I hope to get both the 730 and the 4020. But the John Deere 7000 4-row planter. Now, probably a good quite few of you guys know why we bought this. The rest of you guys are probably like, you guys have a 16-row planter. Why in the world are you going backwards? Well, we plant the sweet corn, as some of you guys know, with our 16-row planter, and a lot of the times we're planting sweet corn only when we're not planting in our own fields. We're actually planting corn or we don't have time. When we have time to actually plant it, we don't really make time to do it. So, oh, actually, that strap's kind of tore there. Huh. Must have happened today, actually. I'll have to show that to Dad. Just now noticed that. Anyways, but yeah, we only plant about 8 rows of sweet corn, and we only plant it when we actually have time. And how do I phrase this? I'm planning on essentially expanding the sweet corn. We only do about 2 to 3 plantings, and like I was saying earlier, only when it's convenient. So the first planting we had this year wasn't that great of a planting. The second planting actually outgrew the first planting, and was actually a lot better. It's probably going to be one of the best ones. I don't know how the third planting is going to do. The third planting is going to be just as good as the second planting. It's probably a 1/4 mile of sweet corn, I think, close to it, in total of all 3 plantings of 8 rows. But we have to straddle it, so we have to essentially plant it where we can overhang the other 8 rows. So we did it over the lane, and the issue I'm seeing is that, you know, we're not planting it when it's best convenient. We're only planting it when it's convenient for us. And I feel by having another planter that we can maneuver around with a lot easier, and we can set it up basically the same way as our planter, that we can do a lot more with it. Now, we're not just going to be doing sweet corn with this. Dad and I talked, and we're thinking about doing, well, for sure we're going to be doing plots. Now, I know all of you guys buy seed, so either if you guys sell seed or buy seed from a sales rep, you know that you put on plots for your customers, or your rep puts on plots for you guys to go check out. So our customers actually are able to plant or demo seed, which we call plots, and they can put it out in their own fields, and we can also do our own as Pioneer sales reps to demonstrate our products. So our plan is that not a lot of customers are all too hyped up about, hey, you know, I want to go plant a plot, you know, because a plot takes time to plant. I wouldn't blame them. I don't get too hyped up about doing it ourselves either, really, because it takes a lot of time. It takes a good half a day to do, especially with all the numbers, especially the bean plot. The bean plot's not too fun, especially with a grain drill, because you got to vacuum the whole drill out and before you dump in the next varieties. So our plan is essentially make this a sweet corn planter, and when it's not being used to plant sweet corn, to plant our own plots and take this around and plant our seed customers' plots who are interested in having a plot on their farm. So there's going to be a lot of changes made to this planter. I'll probably be the one working on this the most. Yetter is actually sponsoring the build. I'm getting a lot of stuff from Yetter to put on this, so we're going to make this planter almost just like ours. It's not going to be 1700, obviously, because it's a 7000 series planter. I believe I have to buy lids for the seed boxes. The insecticide boxes I'm not too worried about at all, just because I don't plan on putting insecticide down. So unless I do some trials or something with sweet corn, I don't know. I highly doubt I'm going to be using the insecticide boxes except for like storage. But otherwise, I believe there are 4 closing wheels that he gave me. But the closing wheels will all be different. The fertilizer dual disc setup, as you can see on the front, that was standard on the 7000 series, I believe, will be changed to the dual placement fertilizer injectors like what we have for the starter. So these will actually be moved back and have a dual placement starter set up right here between the gauge wheels and the closing wheels. Similar, if you go watch the planning videos from last year, and I think a couple of shots from this year, like the shins planting video, you'll see a shot of it planting in the rye cover crop on that field. That's what's going to go on this planter. The gauge wheels, I don't think I'm getting gauge wheels because the spoked gauge wheels do not work on the 7000 series. I believe they only work on the 1700, so I wasn't able to get those. I'm not too concerned about the gauge wheels. I'll just run those until they need to be replaced. I'll probably end up when it's time, or maybe even I'll go ahead and take them apart and paint them. I don't know. At some point, I'd like to take this all apart and paint it to make it look a lot nicer, and probably at some point buy new boxes, and maybe even just take the insecticide boxes off. I'm not sure. It all depends on... I highly doubt I'm ever going to use insecticide, really, especially with all the seed treatments that are on corn today. I don't care what variety you plant. There's premium seed treatments everywhere, so... otherwise, yes, this does come with markers. This does come with the liquid fertilizer setup, sorry. A lot of these, I think, came with the dry fertilizer setup. And actually, story behind this is actually, we were looking for either a planter of this size or even just making one, which, if you guys know Polk Auctions, we were actually thinking about running up there and just buying the stuff from them and building either a 3-point setup or buying a 7000 series pole frame and just building off of that, or even just buying a toolbar and just building off of that as well and making it a pole type. But, you know, you run the numbers and you're putting in a lot of money just to plant sweet corn and plant plots. So, actually, in, I think, the Agri-News or the Farmers Exchange, if any of you local guys know what that is, we saw this advertised up at Westville, and it was actually a pretty good deal. We went up and looked at it, and actually I think it has the precision meters in it, and I think he also put speed tubes on it. So there is a little bit of precision stuff on it. It has the Dickie Johns monitor for it. I'm not sure if we're going to use that or if we're going to buy a used 2020. It would be nice to have the new Gen 3, I think they call it, the new Gen 3 monitor to run in our planter, and then we could downgrade the Gen 1 that we have onto this planter. We're going to plant the sweet corn with the 4430, as far as I know for now. The only reason why we brought the 730 up to pull it up, or to get it, was just because it's easier to get around with, and we didn't want to haul the 4430 all the way up to Westville. So, but yeah, so this is going to get a complete overhaul. It'll be a pretty cool project. I believe the guy from Yetter ordered the stuff today. Everything that we've been discussing for this. I believe this has a new tongue on it, and if you guys were watching earlier, I believe this gauge wheel is actually new. He replaced that one, and I'm not sure what else he said. I think that was about it. But as far as I know, the whole liquid fertilizer setup will be changing on here. God, I can't believe that strap ripped. I'm very shocked about that. These straps aren't that old at all. But yeah, this whole fertilizer setup will be changing. I'll have to clean out the tanks, and I'll probably just end up putting new hoses on it, because this was sitting outside under a tarp for, I think he said, less than a year. I think November was the year he just parked it, or last November he parked it and left it outside. I believe he had it in his shed and bought a different planter, and then moved that planter in November outside this one and tarped it and covered it, and there it sat. And I think just recently he started advertising it, and this is what caught our eyes. So this will be a cool project planter. Like I said, the guy from Yetter, big shout out to him and huge thank you to him. Ordered the parts today, I believe, or tried to, or is planning on ordering them in the next few days probably. I'm not sure if he can order them on Saturday or what, but huge thank you to him and huge shout out to him. Thank you. But as the building is slowly progressing and there's a lot of work to be done there, and harvest is pretty much creeping up pretty fast, I'm thinking this won't be worked on till, I probably won't tear into this, probably not till December. I do want to work on this as soon as I can because I'm pretty excited about working on it, but I'm thinking probably not till December, just because then it's a nice slowdown period. We're not doing really much of anything in December, so I'm thinking that's probably when I'll work on it. And actually, I think the guy from Yetter said those parts won't be in till December anyways, so but yeah, so that is the new purchase. Since we're talking about purchases, we are selling the 9400T. So, how do I say this? I mean, a lot of you guys are wanting to know why we are selling it. We're crazy that we're selling it. You know, it's about time that we're selling it. You know, there's a lot of mixed opinions and a lot of mixed feelings about it. You know, if it was up to me, it would have been sold probably 2 years ago. There was no use for it. You know, it was just tearing up the end rows. The track tractor, I mean, it's no different than any other tractor. It's going to have maintenance, but tracks last about 8 years. Tires last about twice as long, depending on what tires you buy. We prefer Firestones, but on the sprayer over there, we actually put Michelin's on it, I believe. Yeah, Michelin's. And those tires actually are really awesome. But Firestones are pretty much on everything. But the tracks were getting worn down. We put new tracks on it only because we're new relug tracks. They're not brand new belts. They're relug tracks, but new. They're 36s instead of 30s. And the only reason why we did that was to make it a little bit more attractive, and just in case if we kept it. Because regardless what we did with it, we were still going to need to put tracks on it. So that is our reasoning on why we put new tracks and new bogey wheels on it. So really, I mean, we're considering our options right now. We are selling it. We were thinking about trading it off, but we're deciding now we're going to try and sell it. And if we can't sell it, we'll trade it off then. But I'm not going to say what we're looking at. We have something in mind, but I will do a video on that as soon as I know, or as soon as it gets here, put it that way. Because I wasn't expecting to get as much interest. There was so much interest in the track tractor, it was unbelievable. I didn't think there was going to be that much interest in it, not only because of grain markets right now, because guys aren't really looking to buy equipment right now, and the only reason why we're trying to sell it is because there's nothing wrong with it. It's in perfect working condition. I couldn't believe how nice and smooth it rode down the road with new tracks. But the only reason why we want to sell it is just because you can get more of a versatile tractor. You can use it to drill beans with, side dress with. You know, if we ever decide to put it on the planter and downgrade the 4650, you know, we could do that. You know, this tractor can do everything all of our other tractors can do, and more, because it has more horsepower than. that's what we were considering. You know, something with a fair amount of horsepower, but with wheels, and that can do anything a row crop tractor can do. So that is our main reason for selling it. So either we'll sell it or we'll trade it, but considering how there's so much interest in it, I have a possibility that we will be selling it fairly quick here. So so that's pretty good. So yes, the track tractor is being sold, traded. At some point it will be gone. It's kind of sad, but you know, I'm not really too attached to it. I mean, I was pretty attached to it because I pretty much grew up on not only the 4650, but the track tractor. I've learned to drive that probably the best around here, just because I've driven that the best, or the most, I should say. And since I'm not really the one that gets to side dress that much, just because I've been in school and stuff, but anyways, yeah, we are going to sell that, and yes, there will be something more than likely different on before fall here on the farm, probably. So that all depends on what we decide to do for sure. But for right now, it's for sale. It has 5,594 hours on it, and if you're interested in it, and if you're still tuned into the videos, sorry this video is taking so long, but if you're still tuned in, the contact information is all down below. But anyways, probably, depending on how old this video is, actually, if you're still watching, this tractor might be sold, so I will be putting sold down in the description once it's sold, because I'm not going to delete this video, because we obviously just talked about the planter, so I'd like to keep this video up. But if it is sold, please check the description. Please check the description before you call, because it probably will be sold in 3 months, so we're a year, you know, depending on what we decide to do. But for now, it's for sale. And if you're interested in buying it, contact information is down below, like what I said. And otherwise, I'll leave it at that. So you guys will just have to be surprised on what we decide to do then. So otherwise, thank you guys for watching. Sorry for this video being so long again. You know, I know you guys kind of some of you guys like the talking, some of you guys don't, and just want to hear the quick summary, and that's it. You know, I'm just doing what I like doing. So otherwise, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And don't forget to add me on Instagram and Snapchat. So catch you guys in the next video.